Hey guys, it's Kelly. I am back with another process video for my Creative Scrapbook Kit Club, and I am using their September main kit, which is full of Chamel's new collection, Go Now Go. And that is primarily a travel slash fall themed not layout, but fall themed collection. So I am trying to do different layouts that aren't necessarily in those categories. And what I have pulled out is a picture of books. And I am an avid reader, love to read, so I wanted to see what I could make work for this. So in one of the cut aparts, they had this suitcase that said, "Let's go." And when I looked at that, I thought, that would be great to have as part of my title, like "Let's go on an adventure" or something to that nature. I don't really pre-plan my layouts. I like to get my pictures out and look at the papers and the embellishments and just see where the layout wants to go. The only time that I somewhat pre-plan will be for using cut files and for sketches, because if the sketch calls for 3 photos and I really want to follow closely the sketch, then I will obviously look for 3 photos. So on the chipboard sheet, it had the adorable globe that says "Shake Up the Ordinary," and I really liked that because it looks like a snow globe, I guess is what I'm trying to say, as in the globe. So I thought that was really neat, and I thought that the phrase went very well, or was appropriate for a picture of books. Now, I don't normally take pictures of the books that I read. What I did with this one is I found a few that had been on my Goodreads list, and I also took a couple of chances on a few of the books that I wouldn't necessarily pick up myself, and 2 of the books I couldn't even get through like the first couple chapters. For me, life is short. If I'm going to read a book, I want to enjoy it, and if you can't get me in the first couple of chapters, or if I don't know, I think Girl on the Train was one book that somebody told me. They were like, you have to read 100 pages and then you get sucked in. So if I don't know it in advance, I'm not going to waste my time. So it's all, for me, I enjoy that though. I like that part of trying to find a new author. So I thought that this photo and a layout about this would be really neat, something different. I only have one other layout of books that I have read, and that layout was done years ago. So, the amount of books that I've read, or different types of books that, have changed. So I'd like to document some of these things as well. So for my colors, I think that what I'm going to primarily stick with are the greens, the reds, and the blues. And I'm trying to pull in a little bit of the yellow because the yellow is on the globe, but I'm going to end up taking that off. I don't like it. It's throwing off the mix. I like the green chevron paper because I know that that is where I'm going to house my title. And it's going to also, I like the fact that it pulls in a different shade of green, but it really works well with the suitcase. And the adventure title is from the Chamel thickers that came with the kit. They are beautiful. It's like a coppery glitter color, and I just like them because she has a mix of fonts. They're not all cursive, they're not all gosh, what's not cursive? I can't think. I'm having a brain fart. You can look at the cute kitty. He's going to make another appearance. Okay, so you get my drift. You understand that on the thickers there's a bunch of different fonts, sayings, and the other thing that I liked about it is when I was looking at the words, there were plenty of words that I think or at least for me, I felt like I could change the words around. Like for Go Now Go, I didn't have anything in mind for that, so I take the go and I'm going to make good out of it by taking a D from another word that I didn't think that I would use. So for me, if I'm going to have thickers like that, I like the fact that I can make them just a little bit more versatile to me and use a phrase that I'm going to use, as opposed, to feeling like I have to use a phrase that I can't. And you don't have that flexibility when it comes with words that are cursive. So at this point, I will be honest, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm trying to figure out exactly what else I want to do with the layout. I thought a tag would be appropriate, but I didn't like the white tag, and I had that one just sitting on my desk. So I put that off to the side, thinking, at a later point, I'm going to pull out a manila tag and see how that works. And yeah, I didn't think that these chipboard stickers were very sticky, but they are. So I like that wood grain paper that Shamel has. It is so pretty. It's a different wood grain. I like the fact that it kind of looks like a parquet floor, and the different shades of wood grain colors. It's just really pretty, and it's probably one of my favorite sheets in this collection. So I was struggling with what I wanted to do at the top and the bottom, and I really felt like it needed something, on both, on the top and the bottom, but I wasn't liking any of the other combinations. So I decided to take the blue and white diagonal stripe and just cut it in half and let that be it. And I like the way that looks. So when I was looking through the cut aparts again, one of the 4x6 cards had something that said, "Go somewhere you've never been." And I thought that phrase number one was perfect, because in reading, you do get to go to places that you might not necessarily ever be able to get to, and just, or, historical times, or all sorts of things. So I just felt like that was appropriate. Plus, it pulled up that darker burgundy piece that I had, and I just thought that at this point, it's starting to take a little bit more shape. I'm liking how it's coming along. So I didn't want to ink the edges, but I wanted to do something. So I took my little distress tool, and I'm just distressing the edges of it. And if you don't have to have a tool to distress. You can use the edge of your scissors. I just prefer using the distress tool since I have it. But plenty of people just use scissors. So don't ever feel like you need to buy a tool to just distress the edges of paper. I don't even think that I bought that. I think it came with something else. It was like a bonus. So at this point, I knew that I couldn't distress the suitcase, but I wanted to make it look more like a die cut as opposed to something that I cut out. So I use Tim Holtz, and I think it's Brush Corduroy. It's one of the inks that just stays out on my desk. I feel like for most of the papers that I use, it's like the best brown, best neutral brown. And when I inked the edges of this, it's not to necessarily be able to tell that it's inked, it's just to finish it off. So I want to go ahead and get some things stuck down on the page. When I get stuck, sometimes if I can go ahead and adhere things that I know I'm going to keep, and I know that I'm going to, just work around, it helps. And I liked the way that the adventure part of the title, that the little corner of the frame fit in between that A and the D. I feel like when you're able to work things out like that, that it just makes it look cohesive, and it makes it look like it belongs, and it's just a good design principle when you can do things like that. So I am going to use just some cheap craft foam to pop up my picture, and I like that little bit of dimension that it gives. And at this point, I'm just taking my craft knife, and I'm just cutting out the pink part of the handle of the suitcase from, that part of the paper. And that way you can see, beneath it, and it also makes it look like a little bit more of a real die cut. So I walked away from it from a little while, and I came back, and I had pulled my manila tag, and I had typed my journaling on that. And the journaling is just about the books that I found that were really good, and one of them being it was Sissy. It's Sissy by Alison Pataki, I think is her name. It is historical fiction, but it's pretty accurate. They just, you know, of course, she's embellishing some of the things that you don't know what happened in the life, but there's some things that are very much taken from her life, and I just thought that was really neat. And so I wanted to do a little bit of journaling on that so that I can just see some of the books that I've read. You know, I enjoy looking back and remembering books, and it's just, you know, one of my things. And I would like to know, I would hope that my kids at one point would like to go back and look at it and be like, oh yeah, that's kind of neat. Let me check this out and see what, you know, interested mom at that time. So the book is a piece of paper that I had cut from one of the papers included. It has like some boarding, I guess, phrases and things like that. And I thought this, you know, it was perfect. And it may have even been something like maybe plural, like booked, and I cut it to fit. But that's the beauty of being able to, you know, make some of these versatile lines, you know, work for you. So at this point, it's almost done. I just wanted to add a little bit of twine to that tag, and I'm going to staple the phrase up top, and I'm going to add some mist. And the color that I use is Bronze from Heidi Swapp Color Shine. And that's going to do it for me today. So I'm going to have all of the details about the Kit Club below under the video in the details section. So if you're looking for a Kit Club, you can check them out. And I have some stills at the end where you can see the close-ups. So thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.